the band was playing, and right now they're ready for a big salute. I think I literally almost got run over by a tuba, to be honest. But this is great to see a great spectacular scenes here at the Misano World Circuit. Welcome back to the FIA European Truck Racing Championship. It's not about the band, it's about the trucks, of course, the giants of the road, and it's the final weekend and the final episode of this year's season 2021. So good to have you back out there behind the screens, and of course a huge thanks to our team. And we see here the pace truck, of course, and we are ready for race number 3 here at Misano. Norbert Kisch is already the champion of the FIA European Truck Racing Championship season, but who will be the winner of the Goodyear Cup? That is still the question. And the good thing is that you get some inside perspective here, and we had Andreas Ahn having an inside perspective at the race control.
Walter Jobst, we are here in the race control in Misano, Adriatico, at Misano World Circuit Marco Simoncelli. There are a lot of screens in the background and a lot of screens with information about timing and information where are the trucks on track. What is the main purpose of work of the stewards and the, for example, race director here?
Yeah, we're here in the race control. This is the heart of every race track, of every circuit. And here we get all the information we need for our work. We have a legal system in FIA. You can compare it with a normal government. The role of the race director or the clerk of course is the role of a policeman. They are watching everything that is going on the track, on the circuit. And if they detect any infringement or any problem, they try to solve it, or if they cannot solve it by themselves, they give it to the stewards. We are the judges. We have to make a decision about any infringement. We have to penalize or to make a decision whatever happens.
How many stewards, how many persons is this gremium?
The stewards are always 3 persons, a chairman, an international FIA steward, and a national steward from the country where the event is.
Yeah. And this information, I think the race director has only 2 eyes, he can't see everything. How did he get this information about infringements, crashes, something what the drivers are doing not in the right direction?
He is in permanent connection with the clerk of course, and this clerk of course has the connection to all the marshals on the track, to the medical staff, to the security staff. So here all the informations come together, and people have to filter which information goes on to the race director, and he will decide which information has to go to the stewards.
And for the people outside, fans of truck racing or motorsport, could it be sometimes really stressful to be here in the race control?
It's always stressful. It has to be very silent here. Everybody is concentrated as much as he can, and we try to make no failures because we decide how the race ends.
And now we do have the race director here. It's Michael Marek. Welcome. The band already gave you the salute, I think. It was just for you. No, just kidding. The race conditions here in Misano, they're quite well. Any specific scenes that you got already in mind where you had to take action?
So in Misano, we are in a MotoGP racetrack, so everything is fine here. The track is prepared well because 1 week after us there is a MotoGP event, so we are very fine with the surface condition and with the track limits. Everything is fine for us.
Yeah, perfect. Sounds perfect. You're working alongside Tony Idden, of course, since this season. You're the race director. How is the work between you two?
So Tony is sitting next to me in the race control. If we have any issue, we are solving the problem together in a harmony, and I think the cooperation between us is going very well.
It's very specific. If you see truck racing, you already got the penalty markers, of course. What is also specific about truck racing?
Yes, so the penalty markers were developed because we need to keep the trucks inside the white line, and sometimes it's very difficult to judge for the marshals and judges of the fact if there was a breaching of the regulation of the track limits or not. Technically, the penalty markers help them to judge if there was any breaching of the regulation.
Thank you very much. Back to your job. Of course, you got a lot of things to do. The band is already giving you the next salute. And this is also a salute to our commentators, Joachim Eberts and Chaz Drycourt. I hope you enjoy it.
Yes, indeed. Fantastic scenes here at Misano. Brilliant for them to get the band out. Great to hear, great to see. My name is Chaz Drycourt, and of course, Joachim Eberts also commentating for you in German this weekend and this season as well. It's been a phenomenal season. I've just had, admittedly, one of the rides of my life in the Iveco S-Way pace truck, a vehicle which you all know by now I am very well obsessed with. I'll just give you a moment to listen to this fantastic band. Awesome performance there. Lovely stuff. It's great to see these sorts of things at racetracks. You know, it makes the whole spectacle even more appealing and even more enjoyable. But as mentioned there, I went round just a moment ago with Frank, our pace truck driver, in the incredible Iveco S-Way, which you will see leading the field around before the race gets underway. And let me tell you, those boys can drive, and wow, those vehicles can move. We have an interview already. Christina is on fire again this afternoon. She is with Sascha Lenz.
Yes, and I need to scream a bit, I heard. I'm sorry, my voice is was a bit cracked yesterday. So, we had the band here, kind of lively scenes here at Misano. How's the mood?
Yeah, it was really nice. I don't know what it's the music, but yeah, I feel really nice, yeah.
Kind of slapstick from me right now, almost losing the microphone. You're still competing very, very hard. What are your objections for this race?
No, I will look that I have a good start. The first 2-3 laps are important for us, and then we will see after the 12 laps what we have then. And yeah, I hope we can drive on the podium. That's my opinion, and then we will see.
Thank you very much. Good luck. And please don't lose any parts like I did here.
Yeah, that's easier said than done with truck races, isn't it, really, Christina? Some of these guys really like racing hard indeed, as you see there by the small bits of damage on the front corner of Sascha Lenz's truck. The eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that the front left corner of Jamie Anderson's truck has the bright green on from Sascha Lenz. These guys do share an awning, and they do work together hand in hand, and with Jamie damaging the front left of his truck, he has borrowed some body parts from Sasha's truck as well, but you can see here parts of it taped up, rubber marks all over it, but still, it all works just as well as intended. These humongous engines, usually in truck racing, they range anywhere from 11 litres to 13.5 litres, 6-cylinder diesel engines with massive, massive turbochargers. And a driver that I really wanted to hear from, actually, has been lined up for an interview now with Christina. It's Antonio Alberti.
Yes, and thankfully we've got the net back. Antonio, welcome back here at Misano. Still a lot of racing to do. What is your perspective?
Well, I mean, yeah, still 2 races to go. It's a lot of points. So I will try to fight with Jochen. It's going to be difficult because he's going too fast here, you know. We are missing a little bit. But after yesterday with that mistake, you know, I lost a lot of points. So I will try to fight, but it's going to be difficult. But anyway, I will try for sure.
And what is your focus?
Well, I mean, try not to. I mean, try to follow Jochen, see if he can, if he has any problem or something, to be closer to him. And I will try to pass Adam, but it's going to be difficult because they are very fast, you know. We are, as I tell you, we are missing a little bit this weekend, you know. But anyway, this is racing, you know. I will try my best.
Thank you very much, and we close the net back. Get him started. Bye-bye then.
Yeah, we'll leave that one with you, Christina. But as you can see there is the Iveco S-Way Pace truck and, of course, our wonderful official truck of the 2021 FIA European Truck Racing Championship, the Ford F-Max 2019 International Truck of the Year. Getting into the S-Way right now is Frank, the legendary pace truck driver that we have here. And we have a very packed grid ready to make its way around the circuit and give us some hard racing. Norbert Kish and Sasha Lenz, a front row that we've gotten very familiar with this season. And they line up on the front row once again. Jochen Hahn and Adam Latchko will be chasing them down, though. And this man, Antonio Alberti, will be starting 5th. As you heard from him there, he'll be hoping to get some more points out of today than he did yesterday. It was a very, very tough time. More evidence there that zip ties are a man's best friend. And that can be, well, I was going to say only one man that we're looking at right now, but it could be one of two. It could be Jochen Hahn or the fantastic Lucas Hahn. And it is indeed Lucas that has been really one of the stars of the show for me this weekend. He starts 6th on the grid today after an amazing qualifying yesterday. He has backed it up with a really good showing today, showing that it's not really a one-off for him. He really is a star of the future. I spoke to Lucas and he was incredibly happy. He said he's doing all of this because he's learning the truck. He's learning tricks of the trade. You know, he's got a hell of a pair of shoes to fill with his father, Jochen Hahn. And as the Ford F-Max makes its way round, Christina is with Shane Brereton, who could potentially take the Goodyear Cup title today.
Yes, and all he needs maybe 3 points to be on the safe side, or what is your plan?
We just need to concentrate on not getting a non-finish, really. So we need to not get involved in anyone's fights and just finish. It's a bit of a shame because I'm really looking forward to having a go, but I just got to do the sensible thing.
Thank you very much. Good luck then. So that was Shane Brereton competing for the Goodyear Cup title.
Yes, Shane has got just to focus, like he said, on finishing. With 6 Goodyear Cup drivers in today's race, the minimum amount of points he can get for a race finish is 6, and he needs 3 to wrap up the Goodyear Cup title from Teo Calve today. We look now, though, at our International Truck of the Year from 2019, the Ford F-Max. This incredible and beautiful big beast of a machine. One of my very favourite things about the whole weekend. I had a great ride in it on the Friday night, where we did some filming with the Iveco S-Way as well. And as part of the whole event here, the Ford F-Max is our official truck. So as we go into the last day of the season, I will, of course, let you know that the F-Max was designed and tested by over 500 Ford engineers, a 5-year period, and tests were carried out in over 11 countries and on 4 continents using over 230 prototype units. Thousands and thousands of hours and millions of kilometers of testing went into this truck. And on the final day of the racing season here, we get to enjoy it, not just once, but we get to enjoy it twice as well. It will be back out before our very last race of the season, round 24. It's great to have Ford on board with us this year. And of course, Iveco as well, providing the official pace truck. 1 minute board in the air then. And drivers about to get the penultimate race of the season underway. Like Shane said, it's a bit of a shame that all he has to do is finish the race. It may seem a little bit anticlimactic, but that's motorsport sometimes. He's done such a good job this season that he's almost got it wrapped up. Like I said earlier, one hand on the trophy as such. And they're a team with some phenomenal branding and a lot of great little bits of kit that they bring around with them. They've provided me with a little model truck and a hat this weekend. There's a lot of people in the paddock wearing their hats as well. They're certainly a great team, great bunch of guys, really bringing a lot of life to the paddock, as if there isn't enough of it already. You know, it's a brilliant paddock to be a part of. And of course, it's a very green and clean paddock as well. As you see there at the bottom of your screen, all of these race trucks are powered by 100% renewable HVO diesel. There are black smoke rules in the championship, which mean that if they do kick out too much smoke, then they will be pulled in and told to sort it out and literally clean up their act. So the pace truck leads us all the way then. The Iveco S-Way, which is powered by bio-LNG, which reduces a lot of the emissions almost 95% or up to 95% of the emissions. And of course, a lot of the noise that you would normally get from a diesel engine. So not only are our racing trucks clean, but also the pace truck as well. We look at a couple of guys outside of the top 10 at the moment. Kurzim, Anderson, Fast, Janiak, Ryan Smith and Alia Kolok all have quite a lot of work to do to stay with the people ahead of them. But the real pairing that we need to keep our eyes on here are the Bagheera Racing Freightliner and the bright purple Apollo Tyres branded MAN of Shane Brayton. Those two starting on the 5th row of the grid together. And Shane just needs to finish, as mentioned. There's Teo just going through your shot now. He's got one of his teammates a few places ahead of him, actually. Adam Latchko starting 4th on the grid. And his other teammate, Alia Kolok, in 16th. You can see the Iveco S-Way towering above our racing trucks. They may be considerably smaller than the usual trucks that you'd see on the road, but they certainly are still big monsters of vehicles. They have a lot of presence about them and some real humongous character in the way that they move and the way they go as well. If you ever get the chance to see truck racing in person, I massively urge you to. You will not regret it. It's a fantastic thing to see. And it really does beg a belief when you see it. So there's your grid then. Norbert Kish on pole position alongside Sasha Lenz on the front row. Then it's Jochen Hahn and Adam Latchko. Antonio Alberti and Lucas Hahn make up row 3. Steffi Hallman, René Reiner on an all-German front, 4th row, I should say. Teo Calve and Shane Brayton start 9th and 10th as they fight for the Goodyear Cup. Andrei Kurzim just missed out on the top 10 in qualifying with Jamie Anderson 12th. Stefan Faas and Anthony Janiak make up row 7. And Ryan Smith, who's making his debut this season and final appearance this season today, is 15th ahead of Alia Kolok in 16th position. So as you all know, it's a rolling start for our races today, as it has been all season, just to make sure that everyone can get up to speed safely and we don't have trucks stopped on the grid or any of those tricky situations. Jochen Hahn took a race win yesterday, so too did Sasha Lenz. Norbert Kish, despite taking the championship yesterday, hasn't won a race here this weekend. So we hope for his sake that he can at least grab one today. He'll hope to do that here while he's already at the front of the grid. Sasha Lenz will work him hard. The S-Way makes its way in. Pace truck into the pit lane. And the penultimate round of the season on the final day of the championship. Round 23 of the 2021 FIA European Truck Racing Championship is underway. Everybody plants their foot. Look at Kurzim. Oh, Kurzim goes to the right-hand side of, is that Calve? I think it may have been Calve that he went to the right-hand side of. He's on the grass after a big bit of contact. I wonder whether that's put the tyre down or something. It certainly affected the bodywork of Calve. Sasha Lenz has gone in too deep. Latchko's now gone down the inside as well. Jochen Hahn's up to 2nd place. Lucas Hahn's in the middle. I think Sasha Lenz might have a problem. I don't know if there was contact between him and Norby on the way down to turn 1. I doubt it, but Lucas Hahn has got a bit of smoke coming out of his truck as well. But it's Norbert Kish from Jochen Hahn from Antonio Alberti in the top 3. It was a big shuffle in the middle of the field. Kurzim's going slowly. I think he has got a problem after that big contact. Nightmare weekend for Andrei Kurzim so far. He had no points yesterday. He had a DNF and a non-start. Just missed out on qualifying in the top 10 today. And he's already further down the order with a lot of smoke pouring out of the truck. This is Latchko with bodywork hanging off as he tries to get past Lucas Hahn. Great start for Lucas. There's Teo Calve getting pushed out wide. There's bollards and penalty markers going everywhere. I tell you, Shane Brayton will be happy. Not happy to see Teo being pushed out wide, but he'll be happy to overtake him. Andrei Kurzim saw Steffi's smoke screen yesterday and thinks, right, watch this. Now look at Andrei, he's got a fantastic run. Teo tries to go to the right of Steffi Halm, that is. And the two of them bang wheels together and the left rear, comes off the ground. It was a big hit. Teo seemed to carry on without any issues. He's in 10th position, 2 places behind Brayton. But Kurzim has unfortunately dropped to the back, although Stefan Faas actually is even behind him, so I'm not quite sure what's happened to Stefan. But now is the time for Jochen Hahn to go chasing Norbert Kish. There's Calvé and Brereton getting their elbows out. Steffi Halm also a bit of damage. I think Kurzim's got a flat tyre the way that the truck is sort of leaning down on that left rear corner. Penalty marker gets hit. Bodywork are plenty all over the place. You can see Latchko's bodywork. Oh, there it goes. It's come off now, and it's halfway down the straight. It's probably better that it's slightly out of the way than still hanging off the back of the truck. Seems like everybody making it through. Kurzim has carried on. He's just got past my commentary box, looking like one of the red arrows. Or should I say, as we're in Italy, the Frecce Tricolori. Stefan Faas is still going at full speed, but he's a lot further down the order and a lot further off the back of the pack than Kurzim. So Kish leads Hahn, Alberti, Hahn again. Then Latchko, Lenz, Janiek, Reiner, Anderson, and Steffi Halm. Calvé and Brereton, despite starting 9th and 10th, find themselves in 11th and 12th after the first lap. Alia Kolok up to 13th, Ryan Smith up to 14th. It's Kurzim and Faas that we have had drop further down. Interesting that Sascha Lenz has dropped so far back. It's a shame to see what happened there. Now it's a shame to see that Theo Calvé's having such issues. There's a lot of bodywork rubbing on the tyres. Shane Brereton right behind him, putting the pressure on his championship rival. And yeah, we've got a flat rear tyre on both of those trucks. That is Kurzim and Calvé, of course. Now they may get black and orange flag, or the black flag with an orange disc, or the meatball flag as it's known sometimes, where they tell them to come in. Basically for having a damaged truck or something that could cause a slight danger, or just sort of hinders the safety of the race slightly. They want to try and nip these things in the bud. You can hear the tyres bouncing around and skittering across the surface as they get the power down out of turn 14 into 15. Calvé is holding up a real train there. That's Brereton, Kolok and Smith. And I can smell, I'm starting to smell the rubber through the commentary box. It's a very, very rich smell of burning Goodyears. But these tyres, a lot of the time, they put up with so much torture from these drivers and teams. Here are your Goodyear Cup Championship protagonists, though. Calvé's rear bodywork almost waving to Shane Brereton. Yeah, you can see that Calvé's truck not behaving itself on the power there. So this is Shane's perfect opportunity, and there is Andre Kurzim on his way in. This has been such a torrid weekend for Andre. I really do feel for him and the Don't Touch Racing team. They've had everything thrown at them, all sorts of issues all weekend. And now the ironic thing is that the Don't Touch Racing team truck got hit pretty hard, to be fair. But look at Shane Brereton now, look at how much faster he is down the straight. And Theo Calvé, that rear tyre, not helping him at all, providing a lot of drag and a lot of resistance as he heads down towards turn 8. Shane Brereton down the inside. And that's very important for the Goodyear Cup Championship, and it's a real shame if it ends this way, but Theo Calvé's chances, much like his tyre, have gone rather flat, I'm afraid. It's not really a moment to poke fun at it, I must admit, but I have to state the facts. Theo's been a real star this season, and those Freightliners have been amazing to watch as well. Incredible to see such a diverse shape of truck amongst the others. But Shane Brereton, as we look at him now, in the purple, number 17, Apollo tyres branded TOR Truck Racing MAN. Just needs to finish this race as he is now, and he will be the 2021 Goodyear Cup champion. It's been a hell of a season for the British team. And that's a truck that's been through the wars in its history. Even at Jarama in Spain as well, he had a huge accident in practice. That put them on the back foot for the weekend, especially having the weekend before at Le Mans, where Teo Calvé wasn't racing with us. It was a chance to get as many points as possible. But they've turned it around at least for this final part of the season. Up at the front, Norbert Kish leads Jochen Hahn, Alberti and Lucas Hahn, then Adam Latchko, truck 55, P5 once again. Sascha Lenz is 6th, Anthony Janiak is 7th ahead of René Reiner, Jamie Anderson and Steffi Halm. All of that going on ahead of Shane Brereton, who is in 11th place. But while on the brink of his title, we look at Shane just circulating now, keeping things safe. And to be fair, he's not really got many drivers around him, so he's not got much to worry about. I think Janiak was side by side up there. He is trying to hold off René Reiner. The two of them have been bashed around a lot this season, so maybe they're just coming together to think, right, why don't we just bash into each other on the racetrack for a bit. Into the final couple of corners then to end lap 4 comes Norbert Kish. And that incident between Teo Calvé and Shane Brereton is under investigation at the start. That's intriguing. That's both of the championship protagonists. Oh, that was a very sad sounding air horn, wasn't it? It's not a sad Norbert Kish at the front though. He is the newly crowned champion and the race leader once again. An amazing lap time in qualifying where he did a 2 minutes .985. Just to tell you how quick that was, his fastest lap of the race so far was a 2 minutes 2.0. So he's over a second slower than his qualifying time. Obviously they do really push things hard in qualifying. You can see penalty markers and all sorts have been knocked to the side. And we've got Jamie Anderson coming into the pits now. And there is Teo Calvé limping around the circuit. That's a very, very beaten up Bagheera Freightliner. It's such a shame to see it. Jochen Hahn there just getting a little bit close to the penalty markers, maybe just hitting one. Can I just mention that Lucas Hahn, currently leading the Goodyear Cup in this race, is in 4th position overall. His nearest challenger in the Goodyear Cup is Shane Brereton in 10th place. Lucas Hahn is doing an incredible job this weekend. I may seem slightly biased just because I went and spoke to him earlier, but honestly, he's been such an exciting young talent to watch this weekend. Lenz has got ahead of Latchko now, by the way. Latchko dropping off a little bit there. Sascha Lenz up into 5th position, 9 seconds off the lead, as you see on the graphic on the left-hand side. Then is the battle between Janiak and Reiner, both with bodywork hanging off. Steffi Halm as well. I think everybody a little bit beaten up at the moment. All of the trucks showing some sort of war wounds. But it's the last day at school. Everybody's just out to get one another and have some excellent racing. And they need to remember we've got another race yet. This is Stefan Fast getting a fantastic cutback on Alia Kolok. Great manoeuvre by Stefan. The two of them rub panels down the inside of turn 14, so close together. Then through the left at 15, Kolok digs the rear wheels into the ground in that Freightliner. This is the battle for 11th position. Alia finished 11th in both races yesterday. Brian Smith just behind them in the number 81. Now he's in the Titan class, so the two in front of him fighting for the Goodyear Cup. Stefan Fast going very quickly down the straight, but there they both hit the top speed of 160 kilometers an hour. Alia still on the inside, but then Stefan Fast is going to have the inside for the second part. But Alia has held it down the inside. Fantastic side-by-side racing here. And she manages to hold the position. Great driving from the number 29. I believe she's only 16 or 17 years old. I think 17 years old. Oh, she's got a little bit deep though into turn 4. There's an instant commentator's curse. Stefan Fast has to get out of it. Alia closes the door and makes sure that she gets a fantastic run down the back straight. Look at that, out of turn 7. Or turn 6, sorry, because this long kink here is turn 7 apparently. Great stuff from Kolok. Hard onto the brakes into turn 8. You can see the water being sprayed there onto the front discs. They usually run 70% brake bias on the front of these machines. Ryan Smith all the while just holding on behind. Bit of a lock up there from Kolok. A co-lock up, as you'd call it. Or as I'd call it anyway. I'm not sure if anyone would agree. But now Alia might have to defend slightly here from Stefan Fast. Does he move over to the right-hand side? No, not really. He's just tucking in behind now to follow on. Maybe to set up a move into turn 13. They go through 11, then the right-hander at turn 12. They miss the apex by quite a while here to set themselves up on the left. Turn 13, Stefan Fast tries it, and he's done it again. That amazing cutback. The Scania down the inside of the Freightliner. Just as close as they were last time. Alia holds it down the inside, but no, Stefan Fast is through. Great move there from Stefan. Awesome to watch there. The German in the Tank Pool 24 racing machine goes through. The only Scania in the field. He's representing the brand well. He goes up into 11th place. Now he's going to try and chase after Shane Brereton, but these guys have lost the field in front of them by quite a margin. There's a good 6 or 7 seconds between them and Shane. But at the very top, Norbert Kish leads the race. Jochen Hahn 3.4 seconds back. Then it's Antonio Alberti. Lucas Hahn remains in 4th position. He's got 1.1 seconds over Sascha Lenz. Adam Latchko is in 6th place ahead of Janiek, who has got Reiner not too far behind him. Then it's Steffi Halm, not too far behind them, and then Shane Brereton in 10th place. It looks to me like Teo Calve's still in the pits, unfortunately. I think that's his race done. Jamie Anderson also in the pit lane. After an amazing performance yesterday, Jamie started race 2 of the weekend, 14th on the grid, and managed to come through to finish in 6th position, I believe it was. Yes, it was. 6th place overall, 2nd in the Goodyear Cup. Teo Calve taking the Goodyear Cup win yesterday afternoon. Look at the speed that these trucks do at this latter part of the circuit. They are governed to 160 kilometers an hour or 100 miles an hour to you and I. And there's a fantastic GPS system that keeps all of them not just on track literally, but on track to maintaining the right speeds. And we go down to Christina, who has just managed to sort an interview for us. Christina.
Yes, with Andre Kursum. Oh, what a weekend. I mean, that's a black weekend. What happened?
Yes, our start was very good, and I think 20 meters before the first corner I get a big bump from the left side, and the tire and the rim was broken, and after 2 corners later somebody hits me behind, and then was the race over for me.
Teo Calve is out already. I think that might be him that he bumped into you.
I don't know. I think it was not Theo. I think maybe it was Jamie. But now we have to look after the videos and we will see.
Okay, what can you do positively ahead of race 4?
Yes, the only positive thing is that Keo has a technical problem too, and he gets 0 points, and he is in the championship 5 points behind me, and yeah, hopefully we can make some points in the first race, and yes, maybe we can do it. We don't know.
Stay optimistic. Good luck. Thank you, Andre Kursum. Back to you.
Yeah, Andre really has had a testing weekend, bless him and his team working so hard this weekend to make sure that he can keep going out there and keep competing in these races. But after taking 3 race wins overall this season and 4 podium finishes, it's been a tough old time this weekend for the German. But as he mentioned there, overall in the championship, Teo is only a couple of points behind. So he needs to make sure that he stays ahead of him at least. Those two battling for 7th and 8th in the championship coming into this weekend. Now battling for 4th and 5th on the circuit though is Lucas Hahn and Sascha Lenz. Now Sascha 2nd in the championship overall, 3 race wins to his name, 10 podiums. Lucas Hahn coming into this has not been on the podium overall yet this season. He's having a mega weekend so far. He's got a good bucket load of points in the Goodyear Cup as well, but as I've mentioned earlier, he's just learning at this point, is Lucas Hahn. He's getting used to the Iveco S-Way, he's getting used to truck racing, and he's gaining his experience, and he's got one of the fastest guys in the series right behind him right now, and he's holding him off for the time being. We're on to lap 9 of this race, so we've got 3 laps left to go. It'll be interesting to see whether Lucas puts up much of a fight here or just concedes that he's just trying to get the experience and that him and Sasha are in different classes. Luke still leads the Goodyear Cup in this race. Sorry, Lucas, I should say. Shane Brereton, 10th overall in the race at the moment, is the next challenger to him, so he's going to take a Goodyear Cup win if he keeps it this way as Lucas Hahn. But we look there, Sasha Lenz in the SL Truck Sport machine, Team Low and Power, pushing hard to get as many championship points as he can out of the weekend. He needs to stay ahead of Adam Latchko in the standings. He's ahead of him in the race at the moment, so that job looks to be pretty much complete. And speaking of jobs being complete, we have Theo Calve in the pit lane with Christina.
Yes, and they have to take the new task right now, Theo Calve. It's a shame you're out. What happened?
I don't really know. You know, Steffi missed the start, and someone came at the right, one at the left, and I think they put the wheels out of the line, so normally it's not allowed. And at the end, everybody pushed. I was in the middle. I get crushed by everybody, and after corner, everybody pushed me, and I don't know. So I don't know what they have in the head, honestly, because look, I'm out. 3 drivers are out. For what? At the end, you know, yesterday we showed that we can make proper race, good one, come back, make podium, and here we made a great quali this morning, and I don't know, sometimes they are crazy.
Yes, but it's the adrenaline, it's the last weekend, but of course you're disappointed because of the Goodyear Cup.
Yeah, but it was, you know, it was game for Shane, but also Shane pushed me really hard. I don't know what he tried, but they try, you know, impossible corners. Yeah, it's pity for the Goodyear Cup, but you know, I miss Le Mans, so with Le Mans I can fight for the title. But now it was very difficult to catch it. But honestly, it's disgusting.
I can understand that, but you missed Le Mans because you are the French champion, at least.
Yeah, of course, it's not too bad.
Okay, thank you, Theo Calve. Of course, he's very emotional right now.
Yeah, very understandably frustrated Theo Calve there. You can completely get where he's coming from. You know, he was in a championship fight coming into this, and a couple of laps from the start, and his race and his championship hopes for the Goodyear Cup are over. Great positive spin, though, to be fair, Christina. The fact that he is French champion, you know, he's had one hell of a year, as Theo Calve. He's been incredible to watch. There's still one more race for him to get a little bit of redemption, maybe, and have one of his fantastic drives that we've seen. His defensive drive yesterday was unbelievable against a lot of the Titan drivers. Speaking of defensive driving right now, though, Lucas Hahn sticks it on the inside as Sasha Lenz tries to go all the way around the outside of him at turns 9 and 10. They go back down the back straight. Sasha's had enough this season fighting against Jochen Hahn, never mind Lucas Hahn as well. He's moving around all over behind him trying to get through. And still he cannot do it. Still trying to look this way and that way. And still nothing happening for him. Lucas Hahn honestly has been a superstar this weekend. It just brings a massive smile to my face to see some of these drivers that we haven't seen at every race meeting. You know, Lucas has done just a couple of meetings this season. We saw him at Most, where he had a lot of good scraps with a number of drivers throughout the Goodyear Cup. This weekend he's really turned it up a notch. Sasha Lenz is trying to turn it up a notch now, putting all of the pressure on, dancing around on his way into corner entry. I think he compromised himself slightly there into turn 1. But this is lap 11 out of 12. This is the penultimate lap of the race. Lucas Hahn is on for a top 5 overall finish. Sasha Lenz wants championship points. He needs to at least think about Jochen Hahn ahead of him. For the first race of the day, you get more championship points. You get 20 for finishing in first place, then 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, and so on. So these races are worth more points in the overall standings. They get the same in the Goodyear Cup, so this will be 20 points in those standings, those separate standings for Theo Calve. Sorry, not for Theo Calve, I was looking down the standings there. I went into full autopilot. For Lucas Hahn, sorry. Although I think just down the inside there, Stefan Faas has sent it. This is Janiek with Reiner and Steffi Halm just behind. And there is the battle continuing. And still Sascha Lenz cannot get through. Latchko making his way through. There's Jamie Anderson, who has rejoined the race. He's down in 14th position. That's not him sort of in order of where his position is. Apparently there's an incident in turn 29 under investigation, but I believe that was with some of the drivers earlier, maybe truck 29, which is Alia Kolok. There has been quite a bit of contact in this one early on. It seemed to chill out in the midpoint. You can see bits of bodywork flapping around, bits of bodywork missing there on Rennie Reiner's truck. I'm considering opening a parts franchise for these rear pieces of bodywork next season. A little bit of extra income on the side never hurt anybody, did it? Anyway, we're on to the final lap. It's Kish leading the way, 5.2 seconds clear of Jochen Hahn. Antonio Alberti not too far back. Lucas Hahn still holding on ahead of Sascha Lenz. Then it's Adam Latchko, Anthony Janiek, Rennie Reiner, Steffi Halm, who we look at here in 9th position. Shane Brereton in 10th is on his way to win the Goodyear Cup title. Just needs to make it nice and cleanly round the final couple of laps. Steffi Halm putting as much pressure on Rennie Reiner as possible, both of them driving the Iveco S-Way. Steffi in the 44, climbing all over the back of number 77. Rennie Reiner. Reiner racing GmbH. Coming into this weekend, Rennie was 12th in the championship, Steffi 6th. She was tied on points with Andre Kurzin. So in that respect, she's had a good weekend and got away. Speaking of someone having a good weekend though, Norbert Kish qualified on pole position yesterday. Won on the road in the first race, clinched the championship title. Started yesterday's race in 7th place, ended up in 3rd. And now he's done the fastest lap of the weekend in Super Pole, on his way to another race win. And look at this now. This is going to be his 11th race win of the season. Doing a bit of drifting into the final couple of corners, really enjoying himself out there, and rightly so, because Norbert Kish takes another win to add to his tally. The Hungarian flags and the checkered flag fly. Kish wins again in the European Truck Racing Championship. Jochen Hahn takes the 2nd place. Antonio Alberti will take 3rd position. Awesome race for those guys at the front, nice and tidy. They did a great job. And then it's Lucas Hahn, 4th place overall. Fantastic result by Lucas. Great effort went into that one. Sascha Lenz just behind with Adam Latchko in 6th. Anthony Janiek 7th. Rennie Reiner 8th. Steffi Halm 9th. And behind them to become the 2021 Goodyear Cup champion in the FIA European Truck Racing Championship, Shane Brereton. Fantastic drive by Shane. Damage on the front of the truck. Obviously, Theo mentioned earlier there may have been contact. But still, that number 17 machine is number 1 in the Goodyear Cup. Very well-deserved title this year by Shane. Him and the team have done an amazing job. They've had a lot of different hurdles to overcome, and they've worked incredibly hard to make sure that they have great turnarounds from all of those. And that's one of the main things you need to have in motorsport. You need to have such a fantastic amount of persistence and determination to have these bollards and different things get in your way, and you just either get around them or get over them. And Shane and his team are a real testament to that. Jochen and his son Lucas there, weaving left and right, doing some drifting together, drifting in tandem with your son in a truck. How cool is that? Fantastic showmanship. But you really have to give a pat on the back to Lucas Hahn. 4th place overall is an incredible result after only doing a handful of race weekends. And he, of course, takes the win in the Goodyear Cup in that race. 20 points go his way, almost doubling the tally that he came here with. Coming into this race meeting, he had 37 points to his name. And he gets 20 out of that race alone. Add that together with the points that he accumulated yesterday, and that's a very good weekend at the office. But it's been one of the best weekends at the office for Norbert Kiss. Wrapped up the title yesterday, took another win here. And the Hungarian is definitely the man to beat. There is Shane Brereton with Stefan Fast just behind. Stefan finishing just outside the top 10 in 11th place in his number 24 Scania. But there we get a good view of our 2021 Goodyear Cup champion. Rounds of applause aplenty. There'll be air horns and plenty of cheers for Norbert Kiss. Another podium for Jochen Hahn. They've really got some good form at the moment. But Antonio Alberti right behind him in the race. 16 points between them coming into this weekend. I think we'll have to wait to see the very final race of the season to figure out who's going to finish where with those guys. Adam Latchko finishes 6th, just behind Sascha Lenz, 2 more real stalwarts of the championship. To be honest, that race, I mentioned the usual top 5 that we have with Kish, Lenz, Latchko, Alberti and Hahn, but it was those 5, but with Lucas Hahn thrown into the middle of it. He was a real standout performer. There is Norby into the pits. Pulls up with Jochen Hahn just behind, and then of course Alberti will be just behind them. There's Adam Latchko bringing his Freightliner back in, and there is Shane Brereton. Hopefully we can get some fantastic reaction from Shane. I know that we'll have Christina on standby in the pit lane, soaking up all of the atmosphere. And you can see all of Shane's team there, all of purple shirts and hats, all of them ready to cheer their man on. He pulls up at the back of the pack there, just behind. And that means that both championships, all 3 championships, the team standings, the overall Drivers' Championship, and the Goodyear Cup are wrapped up with 1 race to go. I wonder whether Jochen, being the joker that he is, I thought he was going to try and park as close to Norby as possible there, so Norby wouldn't be able to open the door. That's the sort of humour that Jochen has. You've got to absolutely love it. There is Antonio Alberti after what started a very tough weekend after yesterday's race. That's a great result for the team. His 7th podium finish of the weekend. And there is Norby for another race win. Taking the championship yesterday and now proving with a champion's drive at the front that he's still got the ingredients to provide those results. Handshakes all round and a big well done. Hugs as well for the team. I'm sure Jochen Hahn will be along in a second to offer his congratulations. But Reveish Racing looking untouchable in these first races. There's Antonio Alberti. And a really happy team welcome him into the paddock, or into the pit lane at least. There, a kiss with his wife. Great to see all the support that the teams give their drivers. It's such an amazing atmosphere in the FIA European Truck Racing Championship. But we wait to see when Shane Brereton makes his way round to see whether we can get him at the front of the paddock as well for a celebration with the team. It does look like they're all just sort of waiting to see when he does pop round where he's going to be. Lucas Hahn taking the win in the Goodyear Cup. There he is. There is Shane. Looking like a rather subdued moment for Shane at the moment. A quick nod to the team as if to say, job done, damage on the front. Maybe he's wondering whether anything will come of the incidents earlier on. But he makes his way round to the front of the truck to greet the team. And I must admit, I think it is one of those moments where we see whether there is anything that is under investigation or any moments in the race involving Shane in the early stages that need looking at, to be honest. But I'm pretty confident that he will be confirmed as champion. And there's a real moment of joy. I think Shane, to be honest, is just very emotional right now that he's done it. He's still on about a water pipe or something, so still, even in this moment, very focused on the job at hand, focused on how the truck is doing. There's a thumbs up from Jochen Hahn. And Christina is with Shane Brereton right now.
Yeah, we do say congratulations. You won the Goodyear Cup. First reaction?
Oh, I'm really pleased. Glad to get that one out of the way. Yeah, really am.
You said it was kind of a shame to just finishing the race, but as we see the end of the story and the end of this book, we saw Theo Calvé out, so it was a task finishing this race, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I had a cracking start, some nice clean air, and then no one really judged herself going into the corners, and it was just a bit of a mass pile-up. You had to just find a gap, really, and I managed to find a gap, stay out of their way, let them carry on fighting, and then just carry on.
What caused the pile-up? Do you think it was, congratulations from Jochen Hahn, was it was adrenaline, or what was it?
Left the brains behind, I think. It was just a case of, I think, they just all outbrake themselves. You know, the brakes are a little bit nimble on the first lap, and you've just got to be a bit sensible. And I think they just all rolled into the back of each other, and it's the domino effect, really. And unfortunately, Theo was taken out. You know, so it was a shame for it to win that way, really.
Absolutely. And now you've got to celebrate with the team. Congratulations, Shane.
Yeah, and hopefully enjoy the last race.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Shane there certainly enjoying the moment with the team, but you can see the emotion. It really means a lot to these guys and a lot to their team members as well. I said it looked like a subdued reaction when he got out of the cab, but to be honest, it's mainly just the outpour of emotion. You know, you don't really know what to say in these sorts of moments, and potentially tears of joy from Shane Brereton, still talking about how the race went on. But, you know, very humble. It is a shame that it ended that way. Shame with the contact with Theo. You can see the frustration, though, from the drivers that there was such contact as well. Either way, it shook up the order quite a lot. And we have our Goodyear Cup champion. So there is your result then. Norbert Kish takes another race win this season ahead of Jochen Hahn and Antonio Alberti. Lucas Hahn finishes in 4th place, an amazing drive for Lucas. Sascha Lenz in 5th place ahead of Adam Latchko, with Anthony Janiak, René Reiner and Steffi Halm fighting to the flag. Shane Brereton wins the Goodyear Cup Championship with 10th place on the road, 2nd place in his class for that one. Stefan Faas is 11th ahead of Alia Kolok, with Ryan Smith 13th in his debut race this season. Jamie Anderson was 3 laps down, and unfortunately we lost Andre Kurzim and Theo Calvé early on in the race. But we still have time now for the podium presentation, where we will see the top 3 drivers overall and the top 3 in the Goodyear Cup presented with their well-earned silverware. The first driver that we're going to see up there is a man that we've seen up there on 7 occasions this season, or at least this will be the 7th occasion for him. The Spaniard driving for T-Sport Banao, the team based not too far from me in the UK. It's going to be number 23, Antonio Alberti. A real stalwart of the championship, an incredibly experienced driver. Somebody that's done a bit of racing in just about anything. You name the class, the division, certain spec, you name it. He has probably raced in it. I really like this circuit announcer. He's fantastic. It's almost like he's announcing people for a boxing match. It's really entertaining. And 2nd place going the way of Jochen Hahn. And those two, the old boys, as Jochen dubbed them at Le Mans, still fighting for podiums, still enjoying themselves. But it's another win for Norbert Kirsch. Win number 11 this season, the 14th time he's been on the podium, 9 pole positions this year. An incredible record. And some dominance similar to what we saw from him in 2015.
E il trofeo d'oro, la vittoria in questa gara 3 di Misano per il neo campione d'Europa Norbert Kirsch.
And there you go, the silverware raised up very high by the drivers. They love these moments. And a very well done to Norbert Kirsch. The Hungarian national anthem played loud and clear. Jochen Hahn and Antonio Alberti are no strangers to a podium. Now potentially, there is potential that the start of the race is being looked at, by the way. I'll give you that little snippet for now. I'm not sure in what capacity or specifically what drivers are being looked at, but the start will be looked at.
And the best 3 of the race, and now it's time of the party. Champagne!
And now comes the champagne. Whether they'll soak each other or not, we will see. Norby sprays the team, of which he is so, so grateful. And we saw how much it meant to them yesterday, and him. And a cheers for all 3 of them, and a very well done. Of course, another race still to come this afternoon for these guys, so they're not going to want to put the overalls in the wash just yet. But more silverware for each of their cabinets, which I'm sure are very, very full. And there's a little drink provided by Norbert Kirsch for some of his team. Fantastic stuff. Next up then, the Goodyear Cup podium, which will feature 3 very, very deserving drivers for their silverware today. A lot of effort goes into making sure that these guys, who are usually right in the thick of the pack, get the results that they want out of the Goodyear Cup. It's not an easy place to be. Just because they're further down the order doesn't mean it's any less competitive. So we can appreciate the efforts that the top 3 have put in to get to this point. I would like to personally extend my condolences to Theo Calve on how his race ended, because that was not how we wanted to see any sort of championship decided. 3rd place, though, goes the way of Stefan Fass. He's had a very hard season at certain points as well, has Stefan. He's a really, really nice guy. He showed me around his truck in great detail the other day. Your Goodyear Cup champion, Shane Brereton, makes his way onto the podium. A big cheer from the team with his little one as well. That's a lovely, lovely little gesture. But Lucas Hahn, one of the real stars of the day, a very big character, and certainly a star of the future in the European Truck Racing Championship. As you can see, it really means a lot to Lucas. And now they raise the trophies up. Shane Brereton in second place. I've not quite seen it done like this before. And that's a very happy Lucas Hahn. And there you go then, the German national anthem for Lucas Hahn. Shane Brereton winning the Goodyear Cup Championship. And Stefan Faas in third. Some very well and hard fought for silverware. And they're just about to crack open the champagne. And I'm sure they're going to enjoy this moment. Spraying everybody, and even our cameraman, down in the pit lane. Lucas Hahn looks for somebody to soak. Is he going to find Jochen? Fantastic. That's just an absolute highlight of what the Hahn family sense of humour is like. An epic moment there, caught by our cameraman. Top job. Top job indeed. Jochen didn't even see that one coming, so like father, like son. Anyway, what we're going to do very quickly is have a quick look back at your Goodyear Cup champion, Shane Brereton's best moments from this season. Norbert Kish then top of the standings with 271 points. Sascha Lenz and Adam Latchko both locked into their positions now as well. Jochen Hahn and Antonio Alberti still have a fight on their hands for 4th and 5th in the championship. Steffi Halm is 6th with Kurzim in 7th. Theo Calve on 87 points now, just ahead of Shane Brereton in the overall championship standings, with Anthony Janiak in 10th on 37 points. But a fantastic day of racing already underway here at Misano. And I look forward greatly to the second race of the day, which will be the last race of the season. Round 24 will be coming up for you a little bit later this afternoon.
Yes, and now we've got 2 bottles of champagne and we've got 2 trophies here. It's the Hahn family. And you've been soaked by your son a bit from champagne. We saw the picture.
Yeah, yes. You know, we enjoy every time to stay on the podium when we stay together on the podium, nearly together. And this is a perfect moment for the family.
Congratulations, you won this Goodyear Cup race. It was a spectacular race, but it was really a lot of action going on. We've got 2 drivers out. How did you see the situation? It was very nearby, very narrow.
Yeah, in the front you didn't feel the crashes or the contacts. I got a lot of luck and I go in the front and I just see the positions to go there, and then I moved there, and it was really good to follow Antonio and Adam and Sascha Lenz. They are fighting, and that's why I can go a little bit more in the front, and that was the good thing from this. Yeah.
Absolutely. How was the race from your perspective?
Yeah, I didn't know, Lucas. It's on the 4th position, so in the last, after the checkered flag, Diana tell me, hey, Lucas is 4, so it's fantastic. Sascha have a brake error in the first corner, so he brake very late and standing wheel, and I go directly in and hold the 2nd position. Okay, I'm on the limit to hold Antonio, but in the end, he's behind me, so it's good for the championship.
You said last race weekend, yes, we're back, the last racing day, you were back on the podium, we're back competing. Your son is also, you're a race-by-race starter. I think we should talk about next season, Lucas, to be serious.
Yeah, we will, but we will see what's next year, and we speak next year again.
Could you please give a word for us?
Yeah, we can give a word. Lucas, we have a strategy. So the strategy is we make it step by step, very slowly, very fast, very slowly. So in the end, Lucas, it's nearly ready to come in the European. So, but in the end, it's also, you know, all you need together. You need the team, you need the sponsors, you need the crew, you need everything. So peu à peu, step by step, and the time will become. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you both. Great sportsmen. Congratulations. You've got 2 bottles of champagne. Lots to share.
Thanks.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been race number 3 here at Misano in Italy. So that's great to see everyone here. They're already applauding. The team's still here in the grid lane. So I think that was it from us. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you ahead of race 4 then this weekend. And so that was it from me, and we see you then later on for the final episode of the final race weekend here at Misano. Good sports then. Wait, who's got the champagne then? Who's got the champagne?